Hello and welcome back. In the last video we went through and we set up the Cowrie Honeypot. We did some configuration and we've left it running. In this video we're going to have a quick look at the log files and see what might have been happening in the time since we set up the Honeypot, and we're also going to connect Splunk so that we can better visualize the information coming out of our Honeypot. So let's get going. If we have a quick look in the Cowrie log file here, if I just do a list the directory there, you can see there's been a log file created pretty much for every day. So if we pick one of those ones, maybe the one for yesterday, which I've already looked at here, we open that up, we can see immediately there's some incoming connections. And as we browse through the log file, we can see down here is a login attempt for root and password. And if we keep going down, we'll see other username combinations. So we've got Wang down here, password of 123456, etc. We can see some different commands that have been run. So uname with a bunch of parameters there. There are some entries here where new SSH keys have been created. There's another login here for Hadoop. So we can see there's been a fair amount of activity going on our Cowrie Honeypot. And while this is great and Cowrie is logging all of this, it's a bit hard to go through these log files and, trawling through this one. We're at 0% so far, so you can see the log files are quite large. So trawling through text files is not great. So what we're going to do next is actually set up Splunk, and that's going to help us visualize these connections and help us to better analyze what's going on in a more human readable manner. So what I've done is I'll just move this out of the way. I've already actually installed Splunk, but it's a brand new instance here, so just going to get this logged in and then we'll go through and start configuring Splunk. So this is just running on a separate DigitalOcean instance. Okay, so Splunk's now ready to go, but it's brand new, so we're going to set up the data collector and then we'll set up Cowrie with a token so that it can send data over to Splunk. So let's get going. So we're going to add some data here. Yeah, we'll skip the tour. And yes, we want to set up a monitor. Okay, just wait for that to get going. Okay, and we're just going to give this a name of Cowrie for now. And we're not going to change anything else. So we'll just go next, review, and submit. Okay, so now you can see we have a token, so we need to copy that across into Cowrie. So let me bring my Cowrie back over here. All right, so to do the configuration of Splunk in Cowrie, we need to go to the Etsy directory. So we'll just get back to Etsy. You can see we've got our cowrie.config file like last time. So we will edit that. Okay, and we're going to go far down toward the bottom here. These are where all the integrations are done. You can see there's quite a few here. And none of these are currently configured. But there's a lot of integrations we can do. So you can see Slack or Cuckoo, Virus Title. We might do that one later. And here is our Splunk. So what we're going to do is just paste the token in here and set up the IP address. I'll just do that and I'll be back shortly. Okay, so we now have the IP address and the token in our Cowrie. So we're just going to jump out of here. We're going to save that. And then we're actually going to just give Cowrie a restart. Okay, so we've got Cowrie restarted now. So let's continue on with our Splunk configuration. Okay, so now if we look at indexes, we're going to create a new index for Cowrie. So new index, call the name Cowrie, and we just leave everything as is. So we'll save that. And if we go back to our data input, and this is the collector that we set up. And what we want to do is just edit this and set the new index to be Cowrie. So we'll save that. You might also see here that the token that we set up is currently disabled. So we actually need to enable that for Cowrie to be able to send the events across. So we'll hit global settings here, and we're going to go to enabled, and we're going to save that. Okay. That should pretty much be it. So if we go back to our index, and we'll see if there's any information coming from Cowrie yet. Okay, nothing yet. We've got 0 there at the moment. We'll just give that a moment. To refresh. Let's just see if anything's come across again. Okay, there we go. So we can see one event's come across just in those few seconds. So we give it a refresh again. Hopefully we're going to see some more events coming. 6. Okay, so we're starting to get information from our Cowrie into Splunk. And now to visualize it, we're actually going to use the Manuka Honeypot app, which was created by Roger Galabades. I'll post a link to his article down below, which is the one that we're following today. So he created the Manuka Honeypot app for Splunk, and we're just going to install that. So if we go down, go to Manage Apps. I'm going to install the app from the file. Okay, so we've browsed to the Manuka Honeypot file. We're just going to upload that. And we have Manuka Honeypot was installed successfully. So we can go and launch the app now. And we'll just give it a minute to grab some data. And we can see already one successful login, one distinct IP, and this will update as we go. So you can see source IP there. Looks like it's coming from Argentina. These are some of the top probed ports, and we can see the username and password that was attempted. And as this gets more data, you'll actually see that this will update, and some of these other tables will fill in. Here we go, getting a bit more data coming through. Okay, so we've got an Argentina, we've got one from India, and we've got one from South Korea. And remember, we just restarted our Cowrie as well, so it's just come up again, and we're already getting logins from all over the place. And we can see admin 123, and these root ones again. So there's three counts of root with that password and one with that password. So really useful information here. We'll start to see top user password combinations as the data builds, combinations over time. Now, if we do an integration with VirusTotal, we'll see any file submissions that Cowrie sends to VirusTotal. Currently not doing that, so we won't get any results, but we can do that next. And we'll get a list of commands things like that. So there's a bunch of stuff that this app shows, which is really good. The TTYs are also interesting because they actually replay what was done in the command line from the threat actor when they were logged into our carry instance. So I'll give this another refresh, see if it's updated. There we go, we're up to 6 now, and you can see that the timeline's building here as well. Biggest one looks to be India at the moment. Still got South Korea, some from Italy, US, and still Argentina. So here we can see the attacker IP addresses have updated, and we've got more passwords coming in. So yeah, really useful information. This is a great app. Might be worthwhile coming back to this in a little while, once this has had some time to actually get some more data in. What we'll do next is we're actually going to do a VirusTotal integration as well. So let me pause, and I'll be back shortly with instructions on how to do that. Okay, so back again. We're now going to look at how we can do integration with VirusTotal and Carry. So if any files are downloaded to our Carry environment, Carry can automatically upload those to VirusTotal for us. So to do that integration, we're going to go back into the etc directory, and we're going to edit the carry.config file. I'm going to go back down to the bottom here, and then we're going to find our VirusTotal integration, which I believe is just up here. Cuckoo, VirusTotal, here we go. All right, so we can, change the enabled to true. We need to paste in our API key. Upload is true. Scan file is true. And we can also put scan URL if we wanted to. So let me paste my API key. I'll put that in. We'll restart Cowrie, and then we'll be able to hopefully see if there's any submissions uploaded to VirusTotal. Okay, so back from doing the VirusTotal integration, I've just restarted Cowrie, and one other thing I wanted to show was in the etc folder here. We can see we have a userdb example, and I've copied that to userdb.txt. Now if we have a quick look at the userdb.txt, and you might have noticed in the log files at the beginning there was some error code saying it didn't have a userdb. What we can do with this is actually make this a lot more realistic. So as you can see here, we can put in usernames and passwords. So field 1 is the username, the second field is just not used, and the third is the actual password. And we can use wildcards like staff or any username or password which will be accepted. We can put an exclamation mark to say this one will be denied, and we can also use regexes. So you can see currently any username with some password would be allowed. Any username with any password would be allowed. So we could actually just take that out, or make that not allowed, and make it a lot harder for attackers to actually try and get in. So we can just make that like that, and we can add in, let's have a quick look. Maybe we'll add in some of these passwords we saw before. So if we scroll down, we can see, so root with admin123 or root with password. So we could add that in as a legitimate user. So we put the X in the middle, and we're going to put in admin123, and maybe we'll put in root, and we'll give it password with 0, and we'll save that, and we'll give Cowrie a restart as well. And effectively what that will do is actually make it a bit more realistic, a bit harder for attackers to get in. They can't just use any username or password, so they'll actually have to try a bit harder to get in. Let me just give this a restart. Restart. Okay, so we've got our Cowrie restarted, and let's just refresh this, see if there's any new information. Okay, 8 successful logins at the moment. No files downloaded currently, but we can see more and more of these IPs that are scanning our Honeypot, starting to figure out what countries they're coming from, and we're getting a list of passwords and things. So what we'll do is leave this actually running for longer. Hopefully in the next video we'll have some more stats showing in this Splunk dashboard, and it'd be good if we saw some files downloaded or something like that being submitted to VirusTotal as well. So I hope this has been useful, just showing how we can pivot from looking at log files into looking at something that's a little bit easier for humans to understand and doing some actual analysis on what's happening on our Honeypot. Thank you, and please like and subscribe and help me get some subscribers to the channel. Thank you. Bye. Just wanted to give a quick update. It looks like Splunk has processed a lot more logs coming from Cowrie, and we can now see there's quite a few logins, quite a few failed logins and distinct IP addresses. Interestingly, most of them coming from the US, with a breakdown of China and a few other countries. What I thought was quite interesting though was some of the top entered commands here. We can see one of the attackers actually downloaded a file 112, and then made it executable and then actually executed it. And then we can see further commands here where they've then removed that shell file and then cleared the history. So interesting, we didn't get that uploaded to VirusTotal, so maybe that was something that happened in the past. But yeah, just some more information I want to share. Thank you. Bye.